If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns entered the offseason with a clear objective: find a new quarterback. After years of instability at the position, it was clear they needed to address the situation head-on. However, in a surprising turn of events, the Browns didn't settle on one solution. Instead, they decided to go all in, acquiring 4 quarterbacks in one draft. While this bold approach certainly grabbed headlines, it raised more questions than answers about their long-term strategy. Was this an overreaction, or did the Browns have a clear plan in mind? One of the most notable additions to the roster was Joe Flacco, who was brought in to provide veteran leadership. Yet, despite his experience, Flacco is hardly a long-term answer. At 38 years old, his best days are behind him, and it's clear that his time in Cleveland will be limited. The Browns' decision to bring him in seemed more about adding a short-term bridge than finding a future star. With this move, it was evident that they were still searching for their franchise quarterback. But it wasn't just Flacco who came to Cleveland. They also seemed to be quite high on Kenny Pickett, who is still young and full of potential. Pickett, who has shown promise as a college quarterback, was a candidate for the Browns to invest in for the future. His arrival brought hope, but also uncertainty. Would he be able to develop into a legitimate starter, or was he another project for the Browns to manage? With Flacco in the mix, Pickett's path to the starting role seemed anything but clear. Adding to the chaos, the Browns selected Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round, a move that had many scratching their heads. Gabriel's selection was seen by some as a reach, and while he has shown flashes of talent, there were doubts about whether he could transition successfully to the NFL. Still, the Browns were convinced enough to take him, which left fans and analysts alike wondering if they had overextended themselves by bringing in yet another quarterback with a questionable ceiling. However, the most surprising move came when the Browns traded up to select Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round. Sanders, a highly touted quarterback with a significant college career ahead of him, represented a tantalizing prospect. But even though his selection was seen as a solid value pick, it raised even more questions about Cleveland's strategy. With 4 quarterbacks now on the roster, it was unclear how the team would manage the situation. Would they really need 4 quarterbacks, especially with such a strong 2024 draft class on the horizon? Josh Edwards of CBS Sports believes that drafting Sanders was one of the most questionable picks in the entire draft. He argues that while Sanders was great value in the 5th round, the vision behind the pick doesn't make sense. The Browns had already traded out of an opportunity to select Travis Hunter, a two-way star from Colorado, in exchange for a future 1st-round pick. Edwards suggests that the organization might be planning to target a quarterback next year, meaning they would need to be sure about their current crop of quarterbacks, including Dillon Gabriel, before committing to another high-profile draft choice. The future 1st-round pick the Browns acquired adds even more intrigue to the situation. If they're looking to draft a quarterback next year, this would mean that their current group, including the rookies, would have to prove themselves first. Edwards questions how the Browns will be able to evaluate their quarterbacks in a meaningful way. If they're eyeing a future quarterback, they need to have clear conviction about their current players, something that seems difficult to achieve with such a crowded room of quarterbacks. The question of how to divide training camp repetitions is also a major concern. With 4 quarterbacks now vying for a spot, it's difficult to imagine how the coaching staff will allocate enough reps to give each player a fair shot. The Browns risk diluting their evaluation process, as all 4 quarterbacks will need significant time on the field to prove themselves. Trying to balance the development of these players could lead to confusion and even frustration within the roster. Ultimately, the Browns' decision to bring in 4 quarterbacks raises significant doubts about their strategy. While they've invested in young talent like Pickett and Gabriel, and taken a gamble on Sanders, it's unclear how all of these moves fit together. The situation could lead to a scenario where one or more of these quarterbacks never even make the final roster. This uncertainty could further destabilize an already volatile position for the team. If the Browns' plan is to draft their future quarterback next year, they may need to make some tough decisions sooner rather than later. The presence of 4 quarterbacks on the roster complicates matters, and it's hard to see how this situation will lead to the stability they're hoping for. With training camp just around the corner, the Browns coaching staff will have their work cut out for them as they try to sort out this quarterback puzzle. Will they be able to develop a future star, or will this be another chapter in Cleveland's long history of quarterback uncertainty? Only time will tell. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Baker Mayfield has just confirmed his arrival at the Cleveland Browns, marking a major chapter in what has been a whirlwind of a journey for the young quarterback. After a series of ups and downs, both on and off the field, Mayfield is now stepping into a new role with one of the most storied franchises in the NFL. The move comes at a time when the Browns, a team that has long been searching for a stable and reliable quarterback, are looking to build on a foundation of recent improvements. Fans have been waiting for something to turn around, and Baker Mayfield just might be the spark they've been craving. The excitement surrounding Mayfield's signing has been palpable ever since rumors began circulating about his potential move to the Browns. While many speculated on the details of his next destination, there was always this underlying feeling that Cleveland could be the perfect place for him to thrive. The team has been through so many quarterback changes in the past decade that any sign of stability was eagerly anticipated. And now, with the official confirmation from Baker himself, the city of Cleveland seems ready to embrace the next chapter in its football history. Mayfield, who gained national attention during his time at Oklahoma, has always been known for his confidence, competitive spirit, and ability to make big plays when needed. But his time with the Browns promises to test him in ways that his previous stints in college and the NFL have not. Coming into a franchise with a fan base that's experienced so much heartbreak, Mayfield will be under a microscope from day one. The pressure is on him to perform, to lead, and to prove that he's the missing piece of the puzzle that has eluded the Browns for so long. But Baker's arrival in Cleveland isn't just about his on-field skills. It's also about the mentality he brings to the locker room. Known for his fiery personality and relentless work ethic, he's the kind of leader that will inspire his teammates to raise their game. It's the type of leadership the Browns have been sorely lacking over the years. While some may question whether he's truly the long-term answer, there's no doubt that his arrival marks a shift in the culture surrounding the team. In his previous seasons with the Browns, Mayfield faced more than his fair share of criticism. The expectations were high, especially after he came into the league with so much fanfare. There were flashes of brilliance, no doubt, but there were also moments of inconsistency that raised doubts about his future. Now, in this new chapter, the hope is that Mayfield can build upon those moments of promise and take his game to new heights. The Browns believe in his potential, and it's clear that Mayfield has something to prove. For the Cleveland fans, this is a moment of cautious optimism. After so many years of disappointment, they're understandably skeptical of any new additions to the roster. But Baker Mayfield represents something different: hope. The quarterback position, which has been a revolving door for so long, is now in the hands of a player who has the ability to not only lead the team, but also elevate it. And that's something that Browns fans haven't seen in a long time. Looking at the roster around him, Mayfield is stepping into a team that's not devoid of talent. The Browns have some exciting pieces in place, particularly on defense, where they've made significant strides in recent years. Offensively, while there's still work to be done, the team has a strong foundation to build on. With a running game led by Nick Chubb and an offensive line that has shown great potential, Mayfield won't be entering a situation where he's expected to do everything on his own. Instead, he'll be part of a team that's looking to put all the pieces together for a playoff push. However, that doesn't mean there won't be challenges ahead. The AFC North is one of the toughest divisions in football, and the Browns will have to contend with some of the best teams in the league. But Mayfield has proven time and time again that he's capable of rising to the occasion. He has the ability to make the big throws when it counts, and his leadership will be key in helping the Browns navigate the ups and downs of an NFL season. As the offseason unfolds, all eyes will be on Mayfield and the Browns as they prepare for the upcoming season. Fans are hoping that this new chapter will be the beginning of something special. The quarterback position, for once, seems settled. There's a renewed sense of optimism in Cleveland, and while there's still a lot of work to be done, there's reason to believe that the future is bright for Baker Mayfield and the Browns. In conclusion, Baker Mayfield's arrival at the Cleveland Browns marks the start of a new era for the franchise. After years of instability at the quarterback position, the Browns are hoping that Mayfield can provide the leadership and playmaking ability that the team has been lacking. While there are still questions to be answered and challenges ahead, there's no denying that Mayfield's presence has brought a sense of excitement and hope to a fan base that has been yearning for success. Whether he can meet the high expectations placed on him remains to be seen, but one thing is for sure: the journey ahead will be one to watch. The city of Cleveland is ready for a winner, and Baker Mayfield may be the one to deliver it. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!